astronomia collide. This is the Fakeologist Show. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. It is Wednesday, March 8th, 2023. This is the Fakeologist Show. This is the show where we explore media fakery and all things hoaxy. And of course, this is the show where we also meet once a week with Uncle Vigilante, who is of the Epic Catch Dynasty. Hello, Uncle Vigilante.
Hey, yellow.
I think he's whenever Epic Cash is above $1, you hear an extra spark in Uncle V's voice.
Yeah, baby. We from February 1st, we're up 372%. That doesn't suck.
No, that's good. That's very good. That's exciting.
Yeah.
And what else? I sent John LeBon some Epic Cash in appreciation of his work.
Oh, great.
And I didn't realize that you had already set up a wallet for him, so he was ready to receive.
Beautiful.
So that was exciting.
I wonder if he still kept the Epic Cash that I gave him.
I don't know. The guy probably needs the money, so you can't fault him if he wanted to spend it. So
No, I wouldn't fault him at all. I'm just curious.
I asked him how easy is it to just flip it into something you can use over in Bulgaria,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't answer.
Okay.
But I'm guessing you could just go to a Bitcoin machine. The Vite wallet is really good for flipping it into Bitcoin.
Yep.
And that's how you'd unload it into. I think they're called levs over there. So get a couple levs from your Bitcoin.
There you go.
I don't know. I'm guessing Bitcoin is probably the most convertible crypto in the world. I'm guessing.
I would think so. Right.
But then again, I'm sure you could walk around Eastern Europe with US dollars, or maybe they even take Bitcoin in some places.
Who knows?
Yeah. So it's been a big week over at the Epic Farm. Tell us all about it. I'm sure you have something exciting to say about it. And while you're doing that, I'll open up the FakeoTube chat. And
well, I after my live stream on Friday, I went on a weekend retreat.
No, I didn't know that.
Where I didn't have any electronics. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. And
what was amazing about it?
Well, a lot of things. It's really, it was one of these kind of get right weekends where for me, really, it was kind of get right with from a body standpoint and kind of just recalibrating your body. For me, it was
out of calibration
to be able to sleep. And so that it ended up being pretty successful to where, it's just like I'm sleeping like a baby now. So it's great. When you unplug from electronics and stuff, it just kind of tends to put you back in balance. But then when I plugged back in on Monday morning, Epic Cash had gone from 40, 50 cents to $1.50. And I'm like, I gotta leave more often, So it was really nice to see. And it was a lot of volume too. A lot of people are investing a lot of money in it. And so it's good to see.
Yeah, I didn't look at the volume part. Where do you find that?
In Vite, you can go in and take a look at the under markets, and when you go to buy Epic Cash, you'll be able to see the chart, that squiggly thing that shows up and down and the volatility. But then at the bottom, you're able to see the amount of volume that's being traded on a daily basis. So looked like there was about 3 BTC one day that was $80,000 was invested in Epic Cash. Somebody swooped in and picked them up a lot, and it's a beautiful thing to see. I think people are starting to pay attention and recognizing the inadequacies of the surveillance orange coin, and are recognizing that being able to have a non-confiscatable asset is really going to be important, and one that is privacy at the protocol level is going to make all the difference in the world as we move towards the land of crickets.
Very good. Very good. And I also got some tokens to help get the Epic into other coin exchanges. That was what you called for last week, where
Yeah.
they had a raise. So I guess we're loaning the Epic Corporation money to invest and get onto other exchanges.
Well,
Like,
there's no corporation, so you kind of have to be careful with the words. Uh,
okay,
you don't want to give any bait out there for the SEC to say, "Oh, Ab the fakeologist, he called it a corporation. So
okay,
you're a security." No,
okay.
no
So
corporation.
what did I do then?
What did you do? You donated um, some of your Epic Cash towards us.
Actually, I donated some Monero.
Oh, better still. So
Yeah.
Monero to be able to help us uh, complete our liquidity for Change Now, which I think we're there. I think we as a collective community, we have raised about, I think it's 160 to $80,000, and that gets us on Coinstore, which is an exchange over in Singapore, and Change Now, not Change Now, or is it Change Now? Gosh, I am having a Change Now, um, which allows us to be able to, um, the Epic Pay wallet. Right now, you only have a send and receive, but getting onto Change Now will allow us to be able to buy and sell within the wallet too, and swap. So if you have other assets, so you could have, for example, taken your Monero and swapped it for Epic Cash. And that's only because we are on the Change Now exchange. And the thing that, and the funny thing is, Change Now prior to a year, a year ago, we could never get their attention. We tried, but we were just too small, and the markets were just too bullish. They didn't have time. The listing fees would have been 100, 200, $300,000. So the world has really changed, and they actually came to us because they one of the leadership there started paying attention, and they really like Epic Cash for our all of our positive attributes, not just to be another coin listed on their exchange. So that's pretty cool. But
How does the swap work? What do you have to do? Do you have to still go to market like in Vite, or do you just literally say transfer Monero to Epic in that wallet? I can't remember. How does that work?
I don't. I'm not the gearhead, the crypto
Okay.
gearhead to be able to do it. All I know is that once it's integrated, you can put your asset in there, just like with MetaMask, I guess, to where you could uh, say, I have 10 Monero, and I want to exchange it into Epic, and it will do the calculation for you and tell you how many Epic you would get for that Monero minus the fee that would be involved, which is usually anywhere 2-3%, right? And then if you decide to swap, you just click the button and boom, magically behind the scenes, they do all of the, you know, everything needed to be able to deliver Epic to you in return for the XMR that you would give to the to the transaction.
Okay. I sort of get that. All right, that's cool. I was just bringing up the Epic Cash different telegrams on the Telegram group here until
Yep.
it froze, and here it is now. I can see it again. So if you type fake11.com/epic, that will get you into the main Telegram Epic group, which I believe is Epic Cash Community.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm.
So that's where all the action
That
is.
is our primary lobby. That's where everyone who's just becoming epic curious should go. Just start following along a little bit. It's a great community, and then based upon what your interests, if you are interested in learning how to mine, or you're a trader, or you're an artist, or you're a writer, or goodness, if you're interested in governance, we have a DAO governance group, just a myriad of different groups. Then there's you can search for Uncle Vigilante Lounge, and that's my little corner of Telegram. It's a real small community. We have maybe a couple hundred people in there, but they're all kind of one of us, more of the fakeologist types. And that's where I kind of, I don't wear my epic cash hat as much in there. That's just where I like talking about everything you and I like talking about.
Oh, okay. So you got epic and truth in there.
Right, that's correct. Yep. Let's see.
Just looking at some of your stuff here.
Yeah, see that picture?
Yeah.
That's my buddy Eric. He was my mentor when I first graduated college and I had my first job. And he and I met here about a month ago at Mel's Hot Dogs here in Tampa, Florida. We ate there at Mel's Hot Dogs for
Time 11
Yeah.
seconds.
8 years in a row. So it was kind of a nice reunion. And I talked to him about Epic Cash. And this afternoon, I spent about 3 hours with Eric, and he had come into some money from his parents. I mean, the way you wouldn't want to, but his parents passed away,
Okay.
and so that money hit his account. So he's like, Todd, I've really thought about everything, and I've listened to a ton of your videos and researched. And he goes, I want to buy a bunch of Epic Cash today. So if you take a look at today's price action, you can thank Eric for it, because he invested quite a bit in it. And
Oh wow, he moved the market today.
he moved the market, but it was fun. I'm really happy for him. And there was a specific number that he almost got to, and it really, really bothered me. So I'm like, bro, do you have Zelle? He's like, yeah. And I said, okay, let's just call it $1.60 per epic. Send me $900 via Zelle, and I'm going to send you the coins that's going to get you over this threshold, because you just shouldn't be like, 600 coins short or 550 coins short. It was bothering me. So we topped him off, and he ended up, he has a really nice round number. And more than that, he's just a really, really smart, best salesperson I've ever met. And he just retired, so he has a lot of time on his hands, and he is incredibly networked. And I know that once he really digs in and starts to understand Epic, he will evangelize accordingly. And so I anticipate a lot of new community members will come through Eric. And that's how you do it, man. One person at a time, Ab.
No, I hear you. Why did he have to come to you? Are you saying he couldn't get what he wanted on the Epic or on the Veet market? And the Veet market is the primary market to get Epic, is that right?
Yeah, that's
Or the only market.
Currently that's where you go. Yeah. No, he came to me to be able to help him. He got his BTC, and he was just nervous on how to buy it. And so I spent the afternoon walking him through, getting his BTC into Veet and moving it over into the trading area,
Okay.
just walking him through it step by step, and then clicking the upper red, and then hitting buy, and just continuing to chomp. And so then after he was done, and he used all of his BTC, then he was just a little bit short of that, round number that was bothering me. I'm like, nah, dude, you need some more. So it
So
was
we topped him up. All right. I got you. Yeah, I actually forgot you can click on the red numbers to auto populate the order price. Yeah.
right.
Actually didn't know that. It's a little tip. Learn something every day. Hey, we got Harmon on the line. Hello, Harmon.
Harmon's here.
I was going to ask you first, Ab. When I did my monthly subscription with you, and then PayPal or someone came up and said, "I got these. You want to cancel these?" I don't know what you're under. You're not under like Patreon. So what is it? I might have canceled you for this month. I got to redo it.
Well, I'm everywhere. I'm wide open, so I don't want to limit
But
anyone.
I did your monthly. I did your monthly reoccurring one.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, we're
Yeah,
on.
but I did that. No, I did that like 3 months ago. But I don't know if because they sent me a notice. I had to cancel something, and I didn't recognize it. So I don't know what name yours comes under.
Who's
when
they?
It comes up on a
Who
recurring.
sent you a cancellation?
They didn't send me cancellation. They said these people are. Do you know this is a recurring bill?
Oh, I see.
PayPal.
Oh, PayPal. Okay. Well, we're on PayPal. We're on DonorBox. Those are the recurring ones.
What is your name? What is your name under it?
Fakeologist.
It does say Fakeologist. I didn't see one that said Fakeologist. All right, I'll recheck. Just making sure. And I'm glad you had a good vacation. A little break from all the stuff, Uncle. That's really good for you.
Yeah, it was a great
week. Really glad for that. I seen the fire. You sent me the picture of the fire and stuff that you were there, and just
yeah.
And after that, you just got to just relax.
I just relaxed and got too many mosquito bites, but that's okay. That's okay.
In Florida, those the Bill Gates mosquitoes?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, look out. Watch out. Watch out.
You can call me Uncle Zika.
Right, Uncle Zika. That's right.
So I'm going to ask a little bit on the Epic. On the Epicenter, which is like when you always talk about the Bank of Me, right?
Right.
So I'm looking. So the ECR stands for Every Citizen's Reserve.
You got it.
That's in the ecosystem, right? So that's just a reserve, as he says. It would be set up sort of like it would be our central bank, like their central bank would be on fiat. This is ours, and we do it. So when we do a loan to ourselves, I know you have to put in some of your Epic cash.
Yep.
And how many ECRs you have, like when you did that screenshot, we got the ECR. So what gets me, it says you have to stake the ECR. So do you know anything about that?
Well, you have your Epic and ECR then creates the E1 and
EUSD.
Yeah, right. You need those to create the EUS or the wrapped Epic that you stake. And from there, you can borrow USDT from the EUSDT from it. And so if you have, let's say you want to borrow $10,000, you would stake. It's probably going to be, $20,000 worth of Epic, maybe even a little bit more.
Okay, so let me see. Let me ask a question. Okay, I got that right. So you got let's say I have 1,000 Epic. Okay, and just to make it easy, Epic's worth $10, so it's 10,000. You say. So I take 1,000 Epic and I put it and I stake it into the reserve.
No,
because you want the reserve to always be flush, right? The ECR token is the reserve.
Well, you need to marry ECR with your Epic, and that allows you to be able to create the next asset, which is, I believe it's E1. And then from E1,
it's E1, and so you can only take out up to 50%. You don't have to take out 50%, but you have to leave at least 50% of your stake into the reserve, so it would always have enough money in it. Okay, now this is where I was getting to. Now they say that you could always get your coins back. Okay, so this is why I use the number 1,000. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean $10,000, $10. So I borrowed. Let's just do the 50%. It's easy. I borrow 50%. I borrow half of that what I staked. Okay, now how do I get that paid back and get my coins back? When the coin goes up to, let's say it's at $10, it goes to $100 now.
Yeah, now you only have to pay back 10%, the equivalent of 10% of the value, the increased value. So you're letting the appreciation of Epic take care of your loan. So if you ever want those back, maybe you don't want them back. Maybe you just let it ride. And then all of a sudden it goes up to, you know, to where, to where your loan is only 1% of that, total increased value. That's
my understanding. The longer we keep it into the reserve, the stronger it makes our community. Also, is that right?
Because you're locking up supply. You're taking all that supply. So imagine everybody is going out and buy themselves a car. It just creates an amazing amount of scarcity, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of numbers go up technology. It's really an amazing design.
I've been really reading a lot. I've just been reading a lot. And one of these things, I think Max must wrote most of this. Anyway, this is one that says security, scalability, and decentralization. It's no longer necessary to settle for only two.
Yep.
And this is a word he's got in here. I had to look it up. It's a great word. By weaving the strengths of the multiple independent blockchains together. Now, what is the independent blockchains? Is that just us or within our group, or is that outside?
That's within our ecosystem.
Yeah, with whatever, how many different coins we have, right? Different type of tokens. All right. Okay. Yep. So, and then he put blockchain together into one robust fabric. The Epic Center I learned triumvirate of the Epic, ECR, and USD.
Yep.
That word triumvirate he used. It sounds just like that. And I looked it up. What a wonderful word. It means they all work together like almost in harmony.
Yep. Is Max not a genius? I mean, just how he writes, how he thinks.
I really love how he writes.
Yes. Yeah.
And where did you find that writing? Where did you find that? Where can we look at that?
You go to the Epicenter to Introduction to the ECR. You go to Tech, Epic Tech, and it's a 14-page. Then while you're looking at it, there's
So if you go to epic.tech, I believe
there's a PDF that you have to click on, and it's a 14-page PDF, and that's where you find that difference.
Oh, okay.
It's within what you're looking at. Uncle was saying, but if you look, there's a little tab there. It says download PDF. Oh, and that's where it gives you so much more information.
Right.
I'll get a copy of it and put it in your put it in the FACO chat.
Okay, I'll put it. Yeah, that's a good idea. Put it in there. So is that at epic.tech?
Epic.
Well, I don't know. I'm putting this.
Okay.
There. Do you see it? You can see it now.
I will go to the FACOTube chat. Okay, very well. See, we can click on the links in the FACOTube chat.
That's the PDF. Yeah.
Okay, very good. That's good.
Yeah, and that's it. And that's where you could just read and read, and I have to have my dictionary out. I always got it going back and forwards and reading Max words, and the words he uses is so awesome once you understand them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand this whole part of it, but I'll have to read that too. That's interesting.
Yeah, it really helps you. It really helps you. And I love this. I love that word he used, triumvirate. What was the word again? I can't remember.
Triumvirate.
Triumvirate. Trium veridity. Virate. Triumvirate.
Right.
Yeah. Triumvirate. That's the word. You know that word?
Yes, I've heard of it.
It's usually, I looked at it, it says usually used in like a military form or something like that, but it also works together in unity of the coins.
Yeah, it means three men, literally in Latin, three men.
So, is that what it means?
Yeah. Trium is three in Latin, and virat is man.
Oh, okay.
I believe.
I didn't know trium.
Sexist.
Yeah. That's on page 3 on the right side. There's second paragraph down.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Well,
all right, then I don't want to bother you guys anymore. I just want to say hi and just try to get that look clear up.
And it looks like you have more than enough monthly donations coming in from what I can figure. I can't quite figure it out. I'd have to go into my control panel and take a look. But Harmon, you've been more than generous. I appreciate it and all your support.
Well, you can thank Uncle V because I support him and he supports you, so that's all it takes.
I know. He's a good reference. Obviously, that's really good.
All right, then. You guys take care.
Thank
All right.
you.
See ya.
Thanks for calling.
So Ab, if you go to vigilantetv.tv,
Okay. What's there?
vigilante.tv, go to there.
Oh, that's
That's
Dollar Vigilante.
yeah, Dollar Vigilante. And
That's why that's why I'm disturbed that your name is just pretty much the same as his.
well, you know what? It's funny. It's
Causing
I,
confusion.
I opened the show today and I said, greetings. This is Uncle Vigilante, and I unapologetically cover Epic Cash. Yes, it is Uncle Vigilante, not to be confused with the Crypto Vigilante, because the Crypto Vigilante, they pump and dump. But what Uncle Vigilante does is educate and hold, because that's what we do. We just educate. We don't pump.
Oh wow, there you are on the front page.
I know. Is that not amazing?
Tim Moen, who's that? So he on Vigilante TV, he puts his favorite videos. They upload them to his own.
Well, he actually has, like, this guy who interviewed Max. That's his own gig, so he gets, he is endorsed by Jeff, but Jeff doesn't control his content.
Right,
And
of course.
so that's what's cool is here the Vigilante clan who can't stand Epic. It was so beautiful to see, Epic Cash being on Vigilante TV. I wouldn't have thought for in a million years that would happen, but it is a really, really good interview.
Well, I'll download it. Yeah, Jeff. From what I understand, Vigilante TV is just Jeff's favorite video producers, and he puts them on. But of course,
Right.
he's just mirroring them. They already probably have their own video channels, and
Yeah.
he mirrors it on Vigilante TV, which is a PeerTube video platform. I tried to get PeerTube working, but there just wasn't enough information for me to get it going.
Yeah.
I think you need some kind. I don't even understand exactly how it works, but I just couldn't see myself getting an instance of it up
Okay.
easily. And it's peer to peer, sort of like BitChute. I'm not against PeerTube, but it just didn't seem ready for someone as simple as me to figure it out. So
Mm.
I think Jeff has a lot of tech heads working for him, which makes it a lot easier.
Oh, I'm sure he does. Yeah. Yeah.
I will see if I can get that. I think. Oh yeah, he's generous enough to put a download button on. I think I will download it in the lowest quality. So there you go. I will definitely take a peek at that. Why are the Vigilantes so against? Why would they be? What's their beef? Shouldn't they just be in support of
Because
anything?
no, because their model is to be able to front run a pick, right?
Mhm,
So their picks were Monero, Pirate, Darrow, others, right?
mhm.
But you cannot front run Epic. You have to buy it like everybody else. There's no, so uh, with Epic, uh, Epic threatens them because Epic is shit. How can I describe this? They can't manipulate Epic, and
Okay.
and Epic is superior privacy tech than Monero or Pirate, and so when you take a look at their subscription service, is all about which assets you should hold. It is in their best interest to be able to protect the assets that are in their portfolio. So 50%, for example, of their portfolio is Monero. So you better believe that they don't want to support another privacy crypto that has better tech, because it could, it could minimize the value of XMR. And so
How do you know they hold so much Monero? Is that listed somewhere?
yeah, that's part of when you become a uh, crypto vigilante subscriber for $800 a year.
Right.
You get all of their reports, which includes the portfolio that they hold, which they recommend you mirror. It's really beautiful model. I mean, they charge $800 per person for them to tell you what to think, tell you what to buy, and it allows them to be able to go out and acquire whatever their next pick is silently.
Okay, yeah.
Buy,
And anonymously too, because it's a privacy coin.
and then they set up their sell walls when they're ready to announce the pick, and you have the subscriber base just FOMOing in, and it you meet their sell wall. So
And that's what happened to you. That
yeah,
personally happened to you, and that's what set you off on a
yeah,
tear. That
that's
actually brought you to Epic Cash.
That's right. That's what ignited my ire, and where I said, "Hell no! I see what you're doing." And yeah, man, that was almost, gosh, 2.5 years ago, maybe.
So without that incident, you would have probably not known maybe about Epic Cash?
Uh, Depends. I mean, I think I would have ultimately stumbled upon it, but I would have probably been under the spell
Yeah.
of the crypto vigilante. And every time somebody would bring up Epic Cash, and I'd see Raphael or Mr. X say, "Oh, Epic Cash is a shit coin," I probably would have believed them. You know,
Right. Yeah, because you had a vested interest in maintaining the illusion, because you'd be spending $800 a year on the newsletter.
exactly,
You'd be quite
exactly.
biased, yeah.
And they're the ones that christened me Uncle Vigilante, so that was kind of good for the ego initially, and I would have wanted to just be part of the posse, right?
Yeah, you were a hot commodity for a little bit. You came on the scene flaming. I remember all that.
Yeah, for a little bit. And then I opened my mouth and pushed back, so I became persona non gratis.
Did you
Yeah.
ever get any direct messaging telling you to cease and desist, or what happened?
No, because I came on so strong, and because I was stirring the shit up so much,
Yeah.
they immediately banned me. But they were smart enough though to not just ban me, but they also refunded all of my money for my subscription service to both Dollar Vigilante and Crypto
Oh,
Vigilante
without asking.
without asking. Yep,
Right.
yep. So that I didn't go on that warpath. Um, but yeah, but that's how they roll. Is if you have anything dissenting to say, they either mock you or they ban you, and so it just becomes a giant echo chamber.
That really doesn't sound like they're too sincere about promoting the best privacy coin. That's really not what they're about. That's
No,
what that implies.
it's a business model. They're
Yeah.
brutal. They're brutal. They put enough content out there. Raphael walks around like he's just Mr. Austrian economics smart boy. And but they're very cunning. It's all about, getting sheep to be able to buy what they say to buy.
Yeah.
Their business model is not about the $800 a year. Their business model is about providing picks to where they've already bought it, and it's pump and dump after pump and dump after pump and dump. And they go on to the next one. And the sheep just are like under the spell. That literally is it. It's just being under the spell. And all of these poor people who've been under the spell have seen Pirate go from, $2 to $4 to
The $6.
15
Yeah.
to $15, and then boom, after Jeff's bunker was funded, he dumped everything to be able to pay for it, and it drove the price down to where today it is 29 cents.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's very sad, and so you have all of these
But
pirates.
is it still a decent coin, do you think?
No, it's a piece of shit.
Okay.
Its use case is to be a privacy coin,
Yeah.
but it doesn't hold its value unless it's pumped. I mean, the volume on Trade Ogre is so it's
Thin.
phantom because it's just this bot trading back and forth. So the volume is, I think Max said that if you wanted to sell He went through it. It's on my channel today or my live stream today. He went through it. If you wanted to dump your R, the max you could dump without moving the price like wildly down, like from 29 cents to 19 cents,
Yeah.
is like $800. I mean, think
Wow.
about it. So that's so thinly traded now. Nobody's in there. It's going to zero. It's going to
Whoa, that's crazy. I'm gonna
yeah.
look that up. That is the Uncle Vigilante channel on YouTube, going strong. I'll put a link to today's show.
Yeah, go to the live where. So when you go to the live, there it is. Pompliano. He did an infomercial for Epic Cash. It was awesome. You know Anthony Pompliano, right? Pomp.
I do not. Never heard of him.
He's very famous. He's the biggest Bitcoin shiller in the world, second to to Michael Saylor.
Okay.
It's
So what did he do something for you guys?
No, I played
Oh,
a 3 minute and 18-second clip of him talking to another dude talking about the inadequacies of Bitcoin and that really what we need to work on is figuring out how we can integrate privacy at the protocol level. So he was saying everything that Epic Cash is what they need to do to fix Bitcoin. So Max and we riffed on that and it was great. So I just used the fact that he was talking about us without talking about us. He didn't know he was talking about us, but we are the solution and people are going to start paying attention. But
wow.
today's live stream was really good. I encourage everyone to watch it for a couple of reasons. One, we spend a little bit of time talking about the scammers that are out there. As we get larger, we're coming under attack. So everybody, please pay attention to those initial 10 minutes might seem boring because we're talking about scammers and maybe you've never been scammed, but I always say, but by the grace of God go I. I mean, it could be me next because these guys are getting so darn clever. Like they are completely mirroring people's portfolio. And like Mother Trucker, she's very prolific. But instead of Mother, Mother, it's M0THER. So if you're not really looking closely, you don't pick that up. And so it looks like you're talking to Mother Trucker. And ultimately, these scammers are very good at going back and forth with you and then ultimately getting you to, give up your seed words crazy enough or send some epic to, their address that you think you're supporting something like Coinstore or Change Now. And really what you're doing is you're just sending it to an imposter. And so we got to be really vigilant on protecting ourselves and each other. And then, we went through some really, really positive news about Epic Cash. And then we finished it up with riffing about Pompliano and we showed that video. It was really great.
All right. I'm trying to download it, but YouTube is funny. I can't download it because I guess it's too fresh of a video.
Yeah,
How long does that take for this awful service called YouTube to
I know.
allow it? So I can't download it maybe till
24
tomorrow.
hours. Yeah.
Let me just tell everyone here, FacoTube, which is sponsored by Epic Cash. Once my show is over, you can download this thing immediately. There's
Wow.
no delay.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no delay. So FacoTube is where it's at. It's sponsored by Epic Cash.
That what's happening in the world, Ab?
Well, a couple things exciting happened to the Abmeister, and I might, when you hang up at 9, I might call a gentleman in and around East Palestine, Ohio. He's boots on the ground there.
Great.
And somebody from, I believe, Master of None, who's on Discord and on Telegram is some other name, recommended he call. So I had a bit of a brief chat with him on the drive home, and he helped me fix my phone line so I could hear him or he could hear me because obviously no one's calling me on the mobile, but I got that fixed thanks to him. So we might talk for a little bit.
Great.
And so there's boots on the ground there. Apparently he was on Tim Truth. I know you like Tim Truth.
I love Tim Truth.
You got to get him into Epic Cash. He'd be another good ally. He's a very prolific broadcaster.
Yep.
And he's also on Value for Value. I think he runs some kind of website. It seems like it's like FacoTube, but you have to subscribe, and that's how he makes money.
Okay.
I think it is a Faco where he puts his favorite videos up. I can't remember the name of the website right now,
Hmm.
but he promotes that. Now, of course, FacoTube is free. It's value for value. It's supported by people who go to fakeologist.com/donate. And of course, we do take Epic Cash, especially through the Veet wallet. And we're just value for value. You pay whatever you think it's worth. Harmon thinks it's worth a lot, so he donates quite a bit. But
He's
if you
awesome.
just want to send one Epic Cash, you can through the Veet wallet. So it's easy. And
You
I
got
think
you got to scroll up so that people can actually see the QR code. There
yeah,
you go. There
I
you
really
go.
think people should support value for value. And I don't know if Tim Truth is as easy to donate to as I am, but people need to check that out. So there's that. I got a message from Patrick Timponi, who has some kind of radio show in Texas. He's been a broadcaster for 30 years.
Hmm.
Wants the fakeologist on his broadcast.
That's awesome.
He said, I don't know if one of my listeners maybe sent him a message, but he reached out. So
That's
that's
great.
this guy here. So I'll drop some Epic Cash discussion on there for sure because
Beautiful.
I'm a believer.
Beautiful.
So he's a longtime broadcaster,
Yeah, he looks really familiar.
but like everyone else, he's a podcaster now, and that puts us all on the same level playing field.
That
We're all the
does.
same now.
Yep.
We all have a voice. This guy's got a pretty deep, cool radio voice. Seems like an interesting guy. So we'll maybe talk to him a bit.
You know what he kind of looks like? You know the guy on TV that had the big afro that does the painting? You know, he spoke really soft and yeah, let's make a tree and oh, look at the beautiful leaves. We'll just mix a little of this paint.
No, is that the Painting Network?
It's just this dude that was, you know, when I was young, he was just so he's the painter guy. I don't know, but he had an afro, but kind of looks like that guy, you know. Um,
He's been on the radio since the day I was born,
unbelievable,
1967.
unbelievable.
So that's a big career. I don't even know if I could do this kind of thing for that long. I just do it as something for fun. But wow, to make a living doing it for this long, that's amazing. That's truly
That's
amazing.
that's a good run, man.
So there's that guy. I'm trying to put a show together with John Friend, the Jews did it, and Johnny Cerrucci, the Jesuits did it.
Yeah,
So we're getting real close to getting those guys together.
nice.
So that'll be interesting because I think that's one of your questions all the time. Who are they?
Who are they?
So they
Yeah,
think it's them, but all I need is one person to represent the Freemasons did it. And then I think I have a triumvirate.
that's a really good idea for a show.
Well, I'm not sure of anyone. So when someone said like, when someone is so committed to a belief, I'm wondering what's wrong with me that I don't have a strong belief in that department. I don't. Do you have a strong belief in who are them? Is it
My who are they ultimately goes to levels that most people don't talk about
right?
because I believe it's a spiritual war.
Okay.
So
Where do they
I
meet?
I believe, huh?
Where do they meet? Oh, Skate Destroy says that was Bob Ross you're
Oh
talking
yeah,
about.
Bob Ross. Thank you, thank you. You should pull up Bob Ross,
Okay, I will. Bob Ross. We go to presearch.com, type in Bob Ross. Presearch is a Canadian search engine.
and then do images.
Oh, he died 1995. All right.
There we go.
Got the fro going. Okay, you think they look the same? Okay. Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Little bit.
You take the hair away, that ball of fur.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I must have missed that show. There's a raccoon.
Raccoons get a bad rap, man. I have 6 raccoons in my back property, my little sanctuary back there,
Greg
and
Shant says the Anglos did it.
the Anglos.
They're the ones in charge. They did it. They're the the rulers of this world, the Anglos. And we have someone in the chat named Unknown User. I think that's actually their username. Unknown User, hello. Skate and Destroy says Johnny talked about it today. He sounded interested in doing it. Get back to him. Yeah, we have an email thread going right now about the topic Skate and Destroy. So maybe a week Sunday, we're trying to negotiate a time.
Johnny was the one that woke me up to the notion that the Earth might not be what I thought it was.
Johnny Cerrucci?
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember.
wow.
I listened to him all the time, and I'll never forget. And we communicated back and forth quite a
Yep.
bit. And I'll never forget one day he started talking about this flat Earth.
Right. And you
And
never heard of that.
I reached out to him and I said, "You were referencing flat Earth a lot. Please tell me you were joking." And he said, "No, it's flat." And I'm like, because I respected him so much, it really knocked me back. It was the first time that I was just, truth smacked, and I didn't know what to do with it. So I asked him for some, tell, can you ground that? I mean, what's your basis for it? And he sent me some suggested books to read, and I did, and that just really started my journey into everything. Because once you start going down that path, then you start questioning everything. Um, but of course, the
That's
first
interesting. How did you find Johnny? How did
he
that?
he had a podcast forever, and I loved him. I
Right.
I loved how he was talking about all roads lead back to Rome, and he just made sense. I mean, I bought his book,
Okay.
books plural, um, and he's just his research is just second to none. I mean, he footnotes everything. So he brings you back to the original source material, and you just can't deny that he has basis for all of his assertions. You know, he doesn't just say shit to say it. He says it, and he provides links to say, "Here's why I'm saying it. Do your own research now." Um, I've given you all the breadcrumbs. So no, I like Johnny a lot. I haven't
He is.
listened to him forever though.
Yeah, he's on Odyssey. He's been talking a long time, and he sort of picked up where Eric John Phelps left off when
Yeah.
talking about the Vatican is in charge of everything, and they certainly have a much bigger organization than, say,
Mm.
the disorganized or little organized Judaism. But we'll
See,
hope.
my question is, what's the connective tissue? I'd be interested in hearing what he has to say with Klaus Schwab, WEF, and those demons, and
Mhm.
whoever's pulling the strings above them. Is it Rome above the WEF at the
Right.
end of the day? I don't.
Well,
It'd be
I think he'll say for sure, yeah.
okay. Yeah. Right.
So
Right.
he's on Odyssey, so I'll have to. Apparently, he mentioned the potential meetup
Mm-hmm.
between the Realist Report and the Resistance Rising site. I
I
like his
I would
name.
love to hear that live. So you let me know,
That
please.
might be a week Sunday because this Sunday we have Steve from Space Busters coming on,
Okay.
and he's going to talk communitarianism. So we talk about just about all kinds of things that are concerning the takeover of the world.
Great.
So we're all over the place. You're never gonna get one topic. And I'm kind of like you. I just have no idea. I have some suspicions, but
Yeah.
I don't have any proof. So I just keep talking about it, and
Right.
I'm stunned that people are so sure it's this guy or that guy. I know that there's lots of things that are made to look obvious, but aren't those the things we're supposed to not look at?
Right.
That it's a
Right.
double fake?
Yeah. I have no idea. I've just learned that, and I'm so glad that I have Epic Cash to be able to talk about.
Yeah, that's your main thing.
Yeah, because it's pretty benign. It sure, people may not be into crypto. People people may have their favored projects or coins or whatever, but it's nothing that, really, really uh, uh, impacts or accosts people's sensibilities. Whereas if you start
It
talking
cuts across the differences because we all need money. So
right,
it cuts
right.
across the differences. Let's not keep dividing ourselves into infinite groups.
That's right. That's right.
We
But
all need to, the Jews need to pass money to the Jesuits somehow. So why not use Epic Cash?
that's right. There you go. I love
Right?
it. All
Let's
people
connect all these dividing.
love it. Epic Cash is the solution to cure the world of all
Exactly.
those
And the Vatican, just take your gold and turn it into Epic Cash.
converted into Epic Cash.
Uncle Vigilante will store the gold for you. It's not a problem.
Oh, that's beautiful. But yeah, I have, within the Epic Cash community, it's like I start talking about flat Earth and people, entertaining uh, guests that are flat earthers, um, and it just gets people's panties in a wad. They're just like some people. It's just out. They're out of their mind. That I would stoop to the level of just even having a conversation about this silly notion. You know what I mean? And
Well,
it's
don't you think it's for most normal people to go from fiat currency to anything crypto is
yeah,
the same leap? It's a huge leap.
it's true. That's
It's
true.
really crazy. No one has ever considered changing currencies in their
I
lifetime.
know. I know. I know.
Isn't the dollar forever? I mean, that's really how most people look at it.
Exactly. Um, so,
So
hey,
you have to have a certain ability to look at new ideas.
yeah, yeah. My lovely wife just poked her
Okay.
head in, and she gave me one of these where the fingers like come. So
Wow.
she
Okay.
needs me, but so I gotta love you and leave you. But so next week we'll be back on our normal schedule, which is Tuesday.
Okay, that's fine.
Is if that works for you?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. Sorry to
But
kind of
you give me permission if I get an insistent guest or my schedule gets moved around, you're okay. You're flexible enough to
always,
miss a day or move a day.
always,
Right.
always.
Okay. This is just sort of our
We're
our
both that way.
yeah, we're both fine. Okay. And your
Cool.
next Epic broadcast is Friday?
Is Friday noon Eastern time. The Uncle Vigilante channel on YouTube.
And what are you talking about then?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Usually I start talking to Max on Thursday and certainly Friday morning we have a pretty good idea of what we're going to talk about and we finalize it from 11:30 to noon. We're on a call just in prep mode and then but it'll be good. They're all good.
If somebody dumps, say, 100 grand into Epic, how do you have any idea, or does Max have any idea how that could move the market? Or
It'd
would
be
they even be able to buy
yeah,
it?
it'd be over $100.
Oh, okay. So would they even be able to buy? Would there
Yeah,
be would enough people come to sell to that person, do you
of
think?
course.
Okay. So there's always enough liquidity.
That's what would take it over $100.
So
People
100 grand because it's already market capped at what? 25 million? So doesn't that seem like
you said 800 grand, right?
Oh, I said 100 grand.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said 800 grand. Oh, no, 100 grand is would you know, no, it would probably get it up to $3, $4.
Okay, because it's market capped at 22 million right now. So the 100 grand is a small.
Epic is 22 mil.
Yeah.
So that's awesome, by the way. So that means 100 grand would probably take us to 30 million. It's crazy how that works. 100
Okay.
grand in would take us to 30 million market cap.
Because there just wouldn't be enough people willing to sell it?
I don't know. I tried to ask the question to Max on what's the math behind that
Yeah.
because it's crazy to me. But yeah, it's like it's nuts that just
My guess is they'd be hard pressed to find sellers. Maybe.
yeah. It
You're
could
not gonna sell 100 grand
no,
into the system, right?
no, never, nope,
Right. So they wouldn't get it from you.
no, No. And really where people get it, at these reasonable prices is just from miners. That's their job. They're agnostic. They don't give a shit about Epic versus Ethereum versus,
Yeah. But
so
how fast can they make it?
they mine it and they dump it. So when there's a halving, this, in a few months, it's going to be half the supply. So it's half the amount that they would normally dump every day. And that is the numbers go up technology. It just, Epic becomes more scarce and more scarce and more scarce. And, that's why it's just such an excellent asset to be in and to be able to hold. So, all right, I got to scoot. We will talk to you next week, my amigo.
Take care.
All right.
And I'm gonna dial up. I'm gonna dial up the guy from East Palestine since I'm not quite done yet. I don't think he can come on tomorrow because I've got. I think Christine Massey. I left her an invitation a couple days ago to come on, and she just got back to me today. So I should probably follow through with her, even though it's Frank's Day. So we're going to call David in East Palestine, if I can find his number here. Okay, so we'll dial this up and see if he answers. And he is in the East Palestine, Ohio area. So we'll give him half an hour worth of chatty chat. Let's see if he answers the phone.
Hello?
Dave, Fakeologist here.
Hey.
We are now on the air live. I just finished with Uncle Vigilante, and I thought we'd continue our conversation.
That sounds good.
Well, I should be good for about half an hour. If you're good for half an hour, I got cut off because I switched internet connections, and that's one thing that kills the phone line. So that's what happened to me. But you got my SMS, and I got your reply, so we're good that way. And
very good.
So tell everyone whatever you want to tell them about who you are and where you're calling from.
All right. My name is Dave. I'm in North Lima, Ohio, which is about 15 minutes from East Palestine.
All right. Is it Palestine or Palestine?
You know what? I say it both ways just because I don't really know.
All right.
I hear it both ways. So, I guess I just say it both ways too.
All right. I'm just wondering how a local would say it.
They say it both ways too.
Okay.
It's very strange. What was I saying? So
So you're from in and around the area, you said here.
Yes.
I'm bringing up East Palestine onto the map. It's really, it's almost a suburb of Youngstown, I suppose.
Yep. Yes, it is.
It is a suburb of Youngstown, a distant suburb.
Yep.
Actually, it's not that far. It looks like it's only maybe 10 miles.
Oh, yeah.
From Youngstown?
It's really close to Youngstown.
Okay.
I grew up in Boardman, and everything's really close. Like, it's about, there's a bunch of little cities around here, like Poland, Boardman.
Where's Boardman on this map?
It's probably about 15 minutes from there, too. There's a bunch of...
Which way?
I'm in North Lima.
You're in North what? Sorry?
But I'm in North Lima, though. That's where I'm at. I'm just saying I grew up in Boardman. Everything's really close to Youngstown, is what I was trying to say.
Oh, I see. Right. Boardman is... Oh, I see. They're actually part of Youngstown. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
The greater Youngstown area. Is that a Rust Belt city? Is it a dead city because of industry leaving, or is it still fairly prosperous?
No, it's still pretty prosperous. It just depends on the area.
Okay.
Boardman's pretty, big. It's probably one of the biggest cities.
Okay, that's cool.
North Lima is pretty small, though. But I mentioned that because that's the place where this is the area where that girl went viral about her dead chickens. She was from where I live.
Oh, I see. You're really really close. I see where you are. You're really close. Okay, now I see North Lima. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So on the TikTok, we could look that up. What would we call her? The East, the East Palestine chicken woman. Chicken
Just
woman.
look up, East Palestine chickens.
Now I can type that into pre-search. See what I'm doing, guys. And then if I click on T for TikTok, it should go to TikTok and find it. We'll find the chicken woman here. All right. Only 217,000 views. This must be it.
So I walked up to the cage, and this is what I found. Amanda Brashears was going to feed her 5 hens and rooster this morning when she discovered them all lifeless, practically in the same position, with no signs of a predator entering their enclosure. I'm beyond upset and quite panicked because they may be just chickens, but they're family. Brashear says her chickens were alive and well yesterday. She believes the smell following the detonation of the train carrying chemicals that derailed in East Palestine is to blame for her birds' sudden death. My video camera footage shows my chickens were perfectly fine before they started this burn. And as soon as they started the burn, my chickens slowed down and they died. If it can do this to chickens in one night, imagine what it's going to do to us in 20 years.
All right, chicken woman.
So I walked up to the camera.
Okay, so that's it.
Yeah, that's it. The problem is there's chickens all over. Like nobody else's chickens have died. Not here, aside from her. Not in East Palestine. Not. I'm talking like people that live a mile from the derailment.
Right.
Their chickens are still alive right now. Let's just remember that. Okay. So.
So there's probably another reason for her chickens to have died if they really died at all.
Yes.
Why isn't the derailment on Google Maps? Normally they put incidents on their maps, and here's East Palestine, and it looks like the railway goes right through the middle of East Palestine, as far as I can tell.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway,
It's
did you go down there to check things out?
I didn't, but what I did do is I put out buckets the week after the derailment. Now, the reason I mention this is because I purchased a reverse osmosis water system. Now, this was actually a week before the derailment happened. Now, this is important because I just know that our water is shit, our food is shit. Can I swear on here?
Yeah, that's fine.
The air is shit. I mean, they've been poisoning us for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I just so happened to get a reverse osmosis system put in.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that hooked it up said I needed to get a water tester for it to make sure that it was working.
Right. Where does your water come from? Does it come from Does it come from city lines?
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have well. I don't use well water or anything like that.
Okay. So it probably comes from one of the lakes around you, maybe Evans Lake, Pine Lake. Are those big enough lakes, or are they small ponds?
Well, I think it might. Yeah, I'm not sure which lake it comes from. To be honest, I should probably look into that.
Okay.
But
so
either way, though,
so you get chlorinated water probably from the city.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was able though to get a baseline test reading of the ppm, I believe it is, parts per million.
Yeah.
Of our water, and when I did it, and this is before the derailment, it was in the red. It was about 319. Okay, which I was like, yeah, this makes sense. That's why I got the reverse osmosis. The water's crap.
What did the ppm of what?
Parts per million of the particles in the water. And
but what particles?
I guess stuff you don't want to drink.
Well, it's just usually minerals. So it looks like here in Lima, Ohio, comes from the river to the reservoirs. Okay.
It's North Lima, right? Because there's a Lima, Ohio too.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure if you're looking at Lima or North.
Well,
Lima,
I typed in North Lima, but you're right. I think I got Lima.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure.
So you're probably on the Youngstown water supply.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Anyway,
But,
so you have hard water.
Yeah.
That's probably the mineral content is. It's called hard water. It doesn't mean you can't drink it.
Right. But what I did was, because they were talking about acid rain. Well, and I just wanted to mention that because I did have a baseline of what the water was like if people were trying to say that everything was contaminated or whatever, or from the rain, they were saying it was acid rain.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, and that's when I put buckets out to catch the rainwater because it was raining. Like after that happened, because I had a water tester, and I'm like, I'll test it. The rainwater that I captured was actually it was a lower ppm than the fluoridated city water that we get. And I went to a park that's right by my house, and I drank some water from there was like a stream that goes, I don't know where it goes. It goes pretty far out though. And this was after it had rained, and everyone was talking about acid rain. And
that was 25 years ago. That's why we had to close all our coal plants. Because of acid rain.
Well, right, but they were talking about it happening again after this.
Oh wow!
That's when I tested the water. That's when I drank it from the park. That's when I wanted to see how bad it was. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
And it wasn't. I know I'm only 15 minutes away, but it's still not that far. If there's acid rain happening, I probably would have felt it.
Well, I don't know. Maybe humans might not be sensitive enough to that, but here's where you get your water from the Meander Creek Reservoir, which is on the west side of town.
Oh, okay. Now, does it say what cities get their water from there? Is it just...
No, but you're close enough. I'm pretty sure you probably plugged into Youngstown's pipes. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're farther away, like East Palestine, they're probably on well water.
Yeah, some of them probably have well water.
Right. Well, yeah. But anyway, I think you're wise to clean your or use reverse osmosis. That's what I use.
Well,
it's not that expensive.
Actually, what I do is before I got that, I actually use a distiller. So I distill the reverse osmosis.
Okay,
that's what I do.
So
I get it to 1 ppm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty neat.
Well, actually, the reverse osmosis filter takes out some chemicals, and then I have a filter that puts something back in. I can't remember what it is. It might be calcium or something.
Oh, is it the mineral one? Is it one that puts minerals back into it?
It puts something back in. It's just one. I don't know what it is. I have to go look at it under my sink. But the water, the reverse osmosis takes just about everything out, but you want something to be put back in that it takes out with everything. But whatever the case, it is a worthwhile investment. It's only a couple $100 for a reverse osmosis system, and you got to just replace the carbon filters usually every year. Last year was the first year mine actually plugged, which never happened before. I don't know what that means, but I couldn't figure out why I had no more water. So, because I'd never seen it plug before. So once I replaced all the carbon filters, it was back to normal.
How long did you say you had it?
I've had it for a long time, but I usually change the carbon filters every 1 or 2 years.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a wise thing, and I drink lots of my own water, so I think it's smart. So you probably are able to get most of the stuff out.
Definitely. So, if whatever you wanted to ask me about, because like there's a lot I could talk about when it comes to this, but if there's any specific like questions or details you want to know about this.
Well, what do you think happened? Because I really listened to I without knowing anything else. I listened to Tim Truth talk about this. I listened to IPS. Have you heard Infinite Plane Radio? IPS. Have you ever heard of that guy?
I have not.
Oh, we've done some cross cross promotion shows on my channel. He's really good, and his take was that there was a movie called White Noise. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
I tried to watch that. That was like pulling my fingernails out and
I know.
having someone scream. I was really lucky. I fell asleep at the beginning,
I tried to watch it yesterday,
and
and I couldn't.
it's just horrible. It's terrible.
It,
I can't.
it,
I
it,
couldn't finish it. It's terrible.
it made no sense.
No.
I don't even. And this is why I have a theory that
Mhm.
the movie didn't have to make sense. I think. Do you know what the budget was for it? Right?
I don't know
$100 million.
anything. 100
Okay.
million?
Yeah. Yeah. You
How?
could look it up.
Why?
Because they needed to derail a train.
Okay.
That's why.
Do you think they really
That's why.
derailed the train, or was that a simulation?
Well, they did something with 100 million. That's for sure.
Right.
And if you look at it, if you look at the train, it did look kind of. I mean, I can't say for sure, but with $100 million budget,
Mhm.
it's interesting that sometimes I think that these movies, especially that whatever that was, it didn't really need to make sense because the whole point was to get like the data of how to derail a train, how fast it needed to go. This is my theory because I mean, you saw that movie, or I tried to watch it yesterday. What I'm saying is, I feel like a lot of the times these movies are really just to, do test runs of, how fast they need a plane to go, how heavy it needs to be, or a boat, or a train, and that's where they gather their data, and they don't have to really look like they're up to something. It's a movie. I mean, that's my theory. Oh, by the way, if you want to check this out, type in wheat germ movie. This movie has 2 names.
Hey, you're
It's
right.
also called
Budget
Wheat-
100 million, and it made a
Yep.
whopping 79,000. So who
Yeah,
would have lost $100 million? Well, I guess
somebody who wants to be.
well,
Somebody who
Netflix
wants.
bought it, so obviously they would have helped try and recover the cost, because it sounds like it went to the theaters first, and then Netflix took it, then
Well,
bought it out.
I think so.
Although that doesn't make sense because it says it was released on November 25th in the United States, and then the next month or a week or two later, it's on Netflix. So they're obviously promoting it for the reason of conflating the movie with what they said was a real event. Obviously, that's the point.
Right.
That's what I think the point is. So it's
But like, there's no way that movie with like whatever we were seeing was worth 100 million.
No.
I mean, where do you think that went? I mean,
it's a good point.
That's why I'm saying that.
Yeah.
Now,
were there a lot of locals to pay off to pretend that something was going to happen down the line? So they have a dual purpose where they're going to be movie extras and then they're going to be crisis actors in a couple months.
Well, that's another thing is that guy, Ben, what's his name? Hold on. Well, the actor that was in the movie, he was like an extra. He was also interviewed to tell his story about what happened with the actual derailment. But again, we have to remember he is an actor. Now, I do find that interesting. But what's also interesting is if you type in wheat germ movie, you can type it in on anything, Google, whatever. This is important because
wheat germ movie. I type everything into TikTok now.
Oh, well,
you know that TikTok is killing Google right now with the search.
Really?
Yes. That's why the United States, that's why the tech giants are trying to get the US government, their partner, to get rid of it because it's killing their business model. Like,
that's interesting.
Anything, you live in North Lima?
Yeah.
This is the test I used the other day. So most people, if they want to know what the best Mexican restaurant is in their city, they'll just type it into Google. But
Yeah.
you can type that into TikTok now. So instead of text that's promoted or paid for, text search links, you type it into TikTok, North Lima best Mexican restaurants. You get this. Now I think it's North Lima, Ohio. I guess I have to be careful because there's a lot of Limas. Okay, I think I'm only gonna get Lima, Ohio, but this is what you get. You get a whole bunch of search results.
Ohio. She can get a taste.
These are my favorite places to eat at in Ohio, and I'm going back home. Lima edition. I gotta start off with the classic first. QP hamburgers.
My point is, this is where the kids are going.
Now, have you had any? I know.
Sorry.
We both agree that pre-search is pretty great because I do love it.
Yeah. It's not Google. That's why it's great.
Yes. Have you ever used TikTok to help you find anything? Because I've never even tried that.
Well,
actually,
I've just really been educated on TikTok in the last month, so I'm new to TikTok, and I give credit to the No Agenda show. They're really the ones that are explaining what's really happening, and it makes total sense that the tech giants are going crazy because in tech, people move fast between platforms. So you got to really be ahead of the curve, and people can leave your platform overnight. That's why I don't have sponsors. I just have people that make donations and regular donations. But I know people can leave my platform and go to somewhere else overnight, and then your business is gone. And that's really what's happened with TikTok, because the way that it doesn't let you take a breath in between videos. It just keeps pounding you with stuff.
Yeah.
That it's not very complicated to give you stuff you like. So if it knows you're liking certain videos, it'll just give you more of it to give you that hit, and it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop scrolling, and it jams the commercials in there in a way that you can't even tell you're watching a commercial right away unless you're really adept. So it's really addictive, and that's the flavor of the year, and it's killing Google because they make money on paid searches.
Right.
So that's why they're trying to get their law enforcement partners, the government, to get rid of TikTok. Just say we can't compete, get rid of them. And they make up stories about China and data and privacy. It's all the things they're doing. They're accusing TikTok of doing. They're just better at feeding annoying videos. And most of the videos that people watch are just, nonsense anyhow.
Right.
Dogs and girls jiggling and whatnot. That's what it's all about.
Right. I don't even know how to. I've never used it. I don't really know how to use TikTok, but
it's not hard. It's here. I'm on the website. The website acts quite similarly to the app, where you just follow people like any other video service, and then you get their videos. And they started off with 15 seconds, which is the average person's attention span. And then I think they went a little longer when you can hardly get anything in 15 seconds. But I'm just telling you that people are using it for searches, using it for their entertainment, and they're stealing everyone's eyeballs for the entire day, which is no good for things like blogs like I have. That's why people have left blogs, because there's other things to look at. Anyway.
That is a good way, though, to keep people from looking at,
anything else.
Yeah. Very interesting. Back to that movie, though, the White Noise movie.
So wait,
you type into Google.
You wanted me to type in to TikTok the
No, not TikTok though. Try Google.
Well, you said wheat. You said wheat something. Wheat germ.
Wheat germ movie.
But you don't want me to look on.
Well, you could try. I've never tried it on. I've never used TikTok.
Okay, so let's see what it is. So this is a movie coming to Netflix, and they're in Ohio again.
Well, try in Google, see what it says. If you put in wheat germ movie.
Okay, we'll go here. I'll type it in. Can I type it into TikTok or into pre-search first?
Yeah.
So wheat germ movie. Okay, here we go. And White Noise comes up.
Yeah, it has two names. This movie has two names.
Oh, I see.
It's very strange, don't you think, that a movie having two different names, that you would get the same result? If you type in White Noise, you get White Noise. If you type in Wheat Germ, you get White Noise.
Okay.
I just find that interesting because there was actually, on the train that derailed, there was something called
Well,
now this is where it gets weird.
It says that maybe this was sort of the code name at the time.
Right.
That's certainly possible. It says here then various production schedules listed the movie to film at some point in summer 2021, with most seemingly pointing towards the end of June 2021, and was going to be filming under the working title of Wheat Germ.
Mm-hmm.
That's
but
not.
If you look
that, go ahead.
Well, if you look at the cars that were carrying like the polyethylene and the vinyl chloride and the propylene glycol, there was also something in one of the hopper cars called semolina, which is processed wheat. The train was carrying processed wheat. I just find that very strange.
Okay.
So you can't make this up. Like, the actual train was carrying processed wheat. It's very, very interesting.
So this is a good place to watch stuff. These are people that are just filming the video or the movie set in Ohio.
Really?
In 2021.
Yeah. Is that on TikTok?
Well, it was. It looks like now we're not looking at things. Wheat Germ movie. So we got a couple videos where they're filming. So we'll look at this one. I'll turn the audio on. So there's just somebody filming the video.
My life be like,
You get this horrible music that people overlay on their videos.
Yeah.
So that's the same one. So just showing different areas blocked off by the cops to film the movie.
That's still something I'm going to look into, though. I haven't even thought of doing that. Looking up, because I'm sure a lot of people did that.
Yeah, I bet you if we looked up White Noise movie filming, I get more.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe not, because it's kind of now the search is going to be corrupt because they're going to flood it with all the things they want you to see.
Yep. And if you notice, that's why I still like I like pre-search, because you know how it shows like the page 1 through 10 at least. Google, they used to show the page numbers at the bottom.
Right.
And they stopped doing it. Now you can only scroll down to what Google wants you to see.
Right. They've limited the search. Yeah.
Yep. You used to be able to find something on page like 700 if you really wanted to find it. Now they don't give you that option anymore. So it's also frustrating when you're trying to research.
Get away from Google, everybody. But as I was telling you on the phone earlier, if you look on the left, I've got all kinds of buttons set up. So if I want to go and search for these terms somewhere else, I can go to Google, Fakeologist forums, FakeoTube. You can customize all these buttons. It's very, very handy. If I want to search for this on Twitter, just click this. It'll take me over to Twitter. And you might have to wait a second because Twitter's slow. Okay. This is the only thing that came up under White Noise movie budget on Twitter. I fully can't believe White Noise got made at this budget level. It is a deeply funny movie that torpedoes academics. But man, if you aren't on board in the first 5 minutes, you will never be on board. Yeah, well, that's an understatement. Absolutely horrible movie, but
I don't know how you could be on board with it. I don't understand that.
I only wanted to see the train scenes to see if they looked anything similar to what we were shown. But I don't know who I was listening to that said that the actual train crash scene is just a large area with dirt covered by a tarp. I don't know what that means. And I don't know what the end game is. I think, as we were discussing Tim Truth on Odyssey, he's really going into stuff that's fascinating on it. And he was even talking about dioxins as one of the most forever chemicals, one of the most toxic forever chemicals. And he was just trying to pick apart what exactly is a dioxin, and are they conflating the word with other chemicals? And
Exactly. Yeah.
are they going to? Tim is really good. Dioxin is the new COVID.
Yep.
Where they're going to use it as an excuse to just take the land. I thought that's really good.
That's what they're doing with fear.
I think
then
that's
they'll probably just release dioxin.
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking about dioxin in parts per billion. So here we go again with things you can't see, things you can't sense. You just have to take their word that it's there, and it's going to kill
and
you.
only they can test it, and only they can find it.
Right, exactly. So first they're taking our bodies by detecting phony viruses, and now they can take the land by detecting phony toxins.
You know that you create dioxins when you burn trash. If you grill, if you are backyard grilling, that creates dioxin.
Well, what is a dioxin? It's two oxygen molecules attached to anything.
Right. Exactly. It's just another thing that they could find it anywhere, and that's of course they want that.
And
they want to be able to.
There's even H2O2, which is that's heavy water or something. I can't remember right now. H2O2. What is that called? There's a word for it. Hydrogen peroxide, right? Okay. So there's your two oxygens there too.
Yeah. That's if the government can get something where they can find anything anywhere whenever they want and only they can do it, I mean, why wouldn't? Of course they're going to want to do that. I look at this dioxin testing as like a PCR test for the Earth.
Yeah.
Pretty much what it is.
So I'll recommend Tim Truth. I'll put that as show note number 5 tonight. So we've talked about Epic Cache. Now we're talking about East Palestine with somebody who is in that area. And Tim is doing tons of work. He's really spent tons of time on all this. It's amazing. And I'm not sure exactly what Tim's position is. You said you talked to him for a few hours on one of the shows there?
Yep. We talked for about 3.5 hours, then we talked for a few hours after that.
So it's
there's just a lot.
So it's this one here, land grab, East Palestine. So what do you think? What's your take on the whole thing?
I definitely think it is, because when I was researching it, because remember I have my own channel on BitChute.
What is your channel? I couldn't even find it.
Oh, it's called Dave the Inhuman.
Okay, that's fine. Dave the Inhuman.
Yep.
I think I typed David the Inhuman. That didn't work. Okay, you're on Subscribe Star here. I'm just looking on pre-search. Now we'll try on BitChute. There we go. Okay. So that'll be show note number 7. Okay.
Yep.
I'll subscribe to you there. Okay. So you guys talked for 3 hours and 20 minutes. I will listen to that maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a lot of information.
And you talked to Silas Speaks as well?
Oh yeah.
So I'll listen to that one. I didn't really know he talks a lot about numerology or esoterica. I didn't know he was into this kind of thing.
Well, I mean, me and him talk almost every day, so I kind of got him into what's going on with this, and that's where he'll talk about it in our discussion, because he wanted to know more about it, because it is important, because it's their next phase pretty much. First they, like you were saying, first the bodies, our body's not in an hour land. They're just trying to, capture everything that they can.
Okay.
And there is rare earth elements, minerals here, in that same area. There's what's it called? Oh man, well it's all the stuff that they need to make lithium batteries that they need for electric cars. That's all in that. All this the minerals that they need are right in that area of East Palestine, Pennsylvania, West Pennsylvania, Northeast Ohio. That's where all that stuff is.
So what's the problem? Why can't they just get it?
People live there.
Okay, people are in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. How long have you been looking into truth? How far back does your channel go?
Probably early 2020.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah. Pretty much after the Corona thing happened. Maybe late 2020, I think. But I have 400 videos or something like that.
Wow.
I used to just what I was doing is I was uploading videos that were getting taken down from YouTube, and I was putting them up on BitChute, just because
you want to keep
they were
them
being
going.
taken down.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's worth it.
And then I just started making my own stuff. So
where's your own stuff? Which ones are they?
The documentary series, the Inverted Plague.
Oh, that's yours? Wow.
Yeah, that's mine.
3 hours
Yeah.
and wow, this is huge.
Oh yeah, the newest one, the virology deception, that took about 10 months to put together.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is part 5 I'm
5.
looking at. So you've got how many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right now on that?
5. Yeah, and there's going to be 4 chapters, 7 parts each chapter. So and it takes about it takes about 2 years to probably finish one chapter. Oh yeah, I go hard with all this stuff.
That's amazing. That's huge. Video production is crazy hard. That's off to you.
It's a long time.
See any Palestine? I always like the comments, and someone put a Palestine comment under your Inverted Plague Part 5.
Oh yeah, that person actually contacted me. We've actually been talking about the people that have been being interviewed and how they have some other agendas, like making money off of GoFundMe's and stuff. They're, stretching the truth a bit, like lying about how sick they're getting. And it's very interesting, especially when you live here, these people. And they're like, yo, that person doesn't even live in East Palestine. So.
And the Masons. She clicked.
Oh, yeah.
She made a link to the Men of East Palestine Lodge 417. So that's pretty interesting.
Me and her are actually going to be looking into the Eastern Star Lodge. There's a lot of look where I live. There's a Masonic temple like every mile, and they're everywhere. Same with the Eastern Star, the Eagles, the Elk, all these different.
This is huge in the U.S. Especially, would you say it outside the major cities? The Masons are huge, and
yes,
they are the community,
especially on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not so much on the West Coast, but like think about where Washington D.C. is, and all these places over here. They're just everywhere.
Yeah, I used to talk to Marcus Allen, and he asked me, the first thing he asked me if I was a Mason, and I didn't really know what he was talking about. I'm up here in Canada, and I just didn't understand how deeply entrenched they are in all the communities, especially in the U.S. I know they exist here, but they're just not on most people's radar.
I'm sure that there's a different, like, secret societies are everywhere. It's kind of one of my specialties, is something me and Silas really go into secret societies when we do. We have discussions, and I have probably about 20 different discussions with me and Silas. So I still have to upload them all. because I've been busy with the documentary series.
Yeah.
So I haven't even had a chance because me and him have tons of discussions about secret societies, ancient religions, and lost societies and all this stuff, all lost civilizations. But um, I'm curious about the secret societies that are big in Canada because I never really looked into those.
Well,
I know the Masons are that big
I'm just not aware of them, so
because they're secret.
well, I know that probably the police and firemen and whatnot, but I don't know a lot of people. I'm just not that social a person.
Yeah.
But just seeing rural US though, it's clear it's everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's every county.
Yep.
They run the counties.
They sure do.
So they are the
Yeah.
they are the infrastructure. And it's always for a
Yep.
good cause, but of course they take care of each other. That's just a natural human function. You take care of your brother.
They also try and get us when we're young. I don't know if you've ever heard of D. Malay or the
Yes.
Rainbow Girls,
Yes, for sure.
Job's daughters. Well, I was asked to be in D. Malay when everyone was in D. Malay when I was a kid. I mean, and that's what Bill Clinton was in.
Yeah.
And, it's funny because I never really thought about it until I started researching, and most people never heard of D. Malay.
Mhm.
And, but, I didn't go into it because there was no girls in it. I think I was like 12 when I was asked to be in it. But,
Right.
and I'm like, yeah. So it's just interesting that most people don't know about it. And then they always become Masons, obviously, other things like that. So, yeah.
So part 1. So you have 5 parts, but you're saying there's
When we
subparts to
talk
each
about
one?
the future,
There's gonna be 2 more parts coming. What I do is what I was trying to do is I was trying to explain everything about the whole COVID thing in 7 parts, and so I go to like part 1 is pretty much like don't take the vaccine, or you're gonna die, eventually. But and then I go into the masks and the PCR test, and then I go into the history of how long it's been planned in like part 4. And then I go into virology as a whole in part 5. Part 6, I'm actually going to go into the East Palestine thing now with the dioxins because of all the research I've been doing into like health and biology and chemistry. I already have a pretty good basis of what is going on here with the dioxins because everything creates dioxins. So I'm gonna have that's what my part 6 is going to be about, and then the final part is going to be what really does make us ill. People don't realize, the blue light in your phone can create depression and other illnesses in your body, sound and different frequencies and parasites. There's a lot of things that actually make us sick that we aren't aware of, and we think other things are like invisible things in the air. So
Yeah, there's a book that Don Lester wrote, What Really Makes Us Ill.
yeah, I have that pulled up on my laptop.
Yeah.
I'm not copying. I'm just saying like I use a lot of different sources.
Right. Yeah.
Because
So what's your overall takeaway from East Palestine, the train derailment? What do you think it really happened? Or
okay, so and I say this in both of those discussions, but I think it really happened. However, I definitely don't think it's as bad as they are saying it is.
So you think there was another derailment? There was the movie derailment where they may or may not have actually knocked over real cars, and there was another derailment in the same area?
Yes.
And was that a deliberate derailment as well, like the movie?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And do you think there was anything in the cars?
I do, just because there is like a rainbow film that, but the thing is, people have to remember our water has been poisoned all of our lives. And I'm not saying necessarily these things, but there's still chemicals that are just as bad. And they're really just trying to twist it like, oh, now these chemicals are so bad.
Right.
Nobody talks about the chemicals that have been in our water our whole life.
Okay.
and same with the air. And you know, it's just a way to scare people into, because you could almost scare yourself sick if you
Yeah, of course.
think about it.
Nocebo effect.
Yes, absolutely. And one thing I mentioned in those discussions is a lot of the things that the people are saying that they're sick with are sore throat, headache, okay, and they're saying like it must be from the train derailment. I mean, this is insanity. A sore throat and a cough and a headache. I mean, that's how I feel every day. Okay, so you know, it's definitely nocebo. Or just yeah, it's pretty crazy with because I'm in all the Facebook groups of the people that live there, because the people that live there in the surrounding areas, uh, and I'm seeing firsthand what these people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, somebody said that they found a bird on their front porch one day, and they said that the birds must be falling out of the sky
Well,
from
maybe it hit the window. We get birds
or
flying
maybe
through our window all the time. They
yeah,
hit the
maybe a cat
window and
brought.
they die.
Yeah, but now every time anyone sees anything, a bird
Right.
or a
Well, it's just like
coon,
anytime someone gets sick, it's COVID. It's nothing else.
exactly,
Couldn't be the fact that they
and that,
smoke or do
right,
drugs or don't get any sleep, don't eat right. No, it's always COVID.
yep.
It's
So now
just
every dead animal is from the train, the dioxin,
right.
every yeah, it's
So
the
do
same
you
play. It really is.
so what's Tim's position from what you can glean from your conversations? Is he saying that how is he tying it into a land grab?
Well, I definitely don't want to speak for Tim, but
Yeah.
I do want to say that he's it seems like it's he definitely, well, I don't want to say definitely, but he definitely seems to think that
Mhm.
it's a land grab,
Mhm.
and that this wasn't an accident, because there's too much proof that it wasn't, especially with the car that was placed there. If you look into his video about that orange car, it's very interesting. There's been a car that was placed there for like 8 months or something. Did you see that video that he made
No,
about?
no, I did not.
Okay, yeah, it's really good. It's called The Mysterious Orange Car, and it really was placed. He went on Google Earth and went back as far as he could, and there was a car there right where it happened. There was a train car that was just placed there for 8 months, and it just stayed there,
Oh, here it is.
and that's exactly where it crashed.
There are a number of unsolved mysteries, very peculiar mysteries, when it comes to the East Palestine train derailment, the train crash. But one of the most mysterious is the pre-placed orange car that just happened to be sitting right next to where the train would crash. In both this pre-placed car and where the train would crash corresponds directly, it seems, with Sulphur Run, which feeds into the Ohio River. In this video, I'm going to show you what I found as far as this mysterious orange car. Please share this everywhere, because the more eyes we have on this, the more researchers we have looking into this, the higher the probability that we find the
I
answer.
got to give Tim credit. He is spending all his time doing this. It's amazing.
Definitely, yeah.
This was to me, this wasn't even a story. How come it wasn't a story for most people in the world until 2 weeks later? What happened to bring this?
Now that is something me and Tim were talking about, because we were really trying to figure that out. Now that's something that, like, I told you I'm in all the Facebook groups, the people that live there, in the surrounding like cities and areas, and nobody was covering it.
Did it
And
even happen 2 weeks previous, or did it just happen 2 weeks later?
well,
Or that's when
the
they
story
made the
is that
story that's when they promoted the story. That's a good
that's what I'm saying. So what the story is, that it derailed, it caught on fire, and then
No, they lit it on fire because it was leaking. That's what I thought the
well,
story was.
not yet, not yet. It was apparently, it was on fire. If you look at the videos, when it derailed. Now, then they evacuated people. They didn't do the controlled burn until I think 3 or 4 days later, or maybe even 5 days later. I think it was maybe 4 days later is when they did that. So it was just I guess burning or laying there for, and this is what we were discussing in the Tim Truth video when I talked to him, that they evacuated the whole town. They brought the National Guard in, and everyone had to go. And they were there with this train before they control burned it for about 2 whole days. And they could have done anything. And then they I think it was on the 3rd or 4th day, they blew it up. That's when that big black cloud appeared. And they told everyone they can come back after they were done doing whatever they were doing. Because, the whole town with the National Guard in to evacuate people. So one could only wonder what was going on for 2 days with the whole town evacuated.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. That's when the Masons take over and start moving props into place, I guess, huh?
Right. Or getting rid of evidence or whatever. Who knows? That's the thing. We have no idea.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is a crazy story that really never was a story in the mainstream media. And it's almost like they've made it just for the alternative media to eat up and lap up and start crazy speculation that may or may not be true.
Exactly. And sometimes I wonder if they're just trying to gather data to see what people are going with. They're using the alternative media as a Geiger counter almost. Where are people going to go with this? What are they going to believe before they actually, go with the mainstream media? But maybe that's what they're going to use the alternative media for from now on.
Yeah.
My
The alternative media rather is pretty scattered, but I guess there are some big channels.
right.
And Tim Truth
And they'll-
is looking to be a pretty big one. 20,000 people following him on Odyssey, which is not exactly a big platform. So that's pretty impressive.
Right, but the thing is, there's probably about 7 total bigger channels that are even discussing it being not as bad, or a different story. Everyone else is going with dioxins will kill you if you touch it. Everyone else. Not that many people are even questioning it, and that's in the alternative media, is what I mean. It's very, because the first day me and Tim talked, this was a day or two before we had the discussion. He was saying he was kind of disappointed at most of the people that call themselves truthers, because they're just dioxins will kill you. That's it. Those people should evacuate and be pulled out of their homes and then relocated. Not many people are saying anything else.
Tim Truth also has a Substack.
I think so, yeah.
So I will add that to the show notes as well. That'll be show note number 9 tonight. This was originally the Epic Cast show, but I thought I'd get Dave on the show because Master of None, or Luna, put us together in touch, which I appreciate. Appreciate anyone and every one of my listeners. If you want to have me talk to someone or look into something, I can't keep track of everything everywhere. This is not a story that I was really too involved with in any way, but it is a pretty interesting story. And if you know the end game of Agenda 21, it is to get the people off the land and into the cities. That's a long game, but they're going to have to get going on it if they want to meet their schedule. So how are they going to do it? Well, this could be one way.
And that's why this is important for people, just because it's happening 15 minutes from me, and I'm not trying to be fearmonger, but it seems like this dioxin, like we were saying, is going to be the new COVID test. And if people are aware that it's another scare tactic, like just to be able to have an invisible, boogeyman to say, uh-oh, you're going to have to leave your home because the dioxin level is, too high. If people are aware that it's not, if you burn garbage, that's dioxin.
Right.
If you're grilling. So it's like, yeah, they like to use fear and invisible stuff. So.
And
Good
digoxin.
educate people.
Yeah. And digoxin is definitely invisible.
Yep.
It's been used before. I really need to look into it. And I think Tim is the only one that's really questioning what is it dioxin or digoxin? What is the pronunciation?
I think it's dioxin.
There was a story in Canada in the 80s where a nurse at Sick Kids Hospital was accused of killing babies. And I think I'm right. Here, I'll read it to you. Toronto hospital baby deaths occurred in the cardiac ward of the Hospital for Sick Children between July 1980 and March 1981. I'm that old. I know. I don't think you're as old as I am.
I'm 37.
Well, I'm 56 this year.
Oh,
so
wow.
So my memory still works, and I remember the story because I've always been a news junkie. So
Yeah.
I remember this. The death started after cardiology ward had been divided into two adjacent wards. The deaths ended after the police had been called in, and the digitalis type medication that had been possibly been used for the alleged killing is digoxin. Digoxin. So I'm getting some words mixed up. Digoxin, sold under the brand name Lenoxin, among others, is a medication used to treat various heart conditions. Most frequently, it is used for atrial fibrillation, atrial flutter, and heart failure. Digoxin is one of the oldest medications used in the field of cardiology. It works by increasing myocardial contractions. Okay. So I'm getting two words mixed up. But I'm close. It's dioxin. So they literally add a G in the word dioxin to make the word digoxin. So
what is that digoxin, though?
what is it? Oh, we got hung up. I'll call him back. Maybe his phone died. Yep.
Hello?
We got hung up there.
I'm here.
Okay. Digoxin is a medication that is used. What is it exactly?
Like, does it say like the chemical compounds that it's comprised of?
Yeah, you can't see my screen, but there is a organic chemistry diagram of what it is.
Interesting.
So it's got lots of hydroxides. I can't really describe it too many other ways. It's got lots of.
Right.
I'm just trying to recall my chemistry here.
I could look into it later, but it's interesting that there's hydroxides in it because that's a lot of things that the chemicals that were.
Oh, here we go. Pharmacodynamics. This may explain it. Derivatives of the plants of the genus Digitalis. That's where it's from. It's all plant stuff. All medicine used to come from plants, but they can't copyright plants, so they have to make an artificial version of what the plant makes.
Synthetic, yeah.
Right, and then they can copyright it and sell it.
Yep.
Oh, it comes from the foxglove plant, Digitalis ionata. Initially, the digoxin was purified by dissolving the dried plant material in acetone and boiling the solution in chloroform. The solution was then reacted with acetic acid and small amounts of ferric chloride and sulfuric acid. Digoxin was indistinguishable from other glucosides by the olive green colored solution produced from this reaction, completely free of red. And they have people in society using it to kill people. So here's another story. In 2003, this guy admitted to killing 40 hospital patients with overdoses of the heart medication, digoxin. And he said he did it over his 19-year career. COVID-19. There you go.
Wow.
Real story? Unlikely.
Wow.
So they mix all kinds of psyops with this. I mean, this is real research, guys, what we're doing. I know I'm just reading Wikipedia, but when you read stories in Wikipedia as a fakeologist, you get a whole different vibe.
It's true.
You really do. Like, none of this would matter, but when you look for numbers and stories, and here's the guy, this is the guy. Oh, he's 63 now. A nurse. Given 18, that's Kai, consecutive life sentences for killing 29 people. 2-9. 2 and 9 is 11. I'm not even going to read this story about this guy, but this is another serial killer. I mean, most people need motives for killing people. I don't know what the motive of for a nurse to kill patients would be.
Yeah, that's really weird. Especially if you would admit to killing 20 people with a medicine as a nurse. I mean, yeah.
His first murder was on 6/11/88. Love those
6/11.
numbers. 6/11/88.
Oh man.
So here's your
Wow.
numbers. Oh, he gave an overdose of insulin. I'm not giving any tips, but somebody said that's the best way to kill someone and get away with it. Inject them with insulin in between their toes and never find it. Yeah, I'm just reading this story here.
Sounds interesting though.
And then he killed a 91-year-old cancer patient. There's 1 and 9 inversed. Yeah, another story. But again, we had that story in Canada with the Susan Nellis case, and she was acquitted. But that went on forever. I don't know what laws or what the result, because all these psyops, they always pass laws to
Right.
to usually in reaction to whatever happened. And this is a little bit far back. So I have to reread the whole thing. It's really fun to go back in history as a fakeologist and look at all the stories. And here's 29, the number 29 again in this particular case. And they involve the famous CDC with regards to this case. So that ties in the U.S., who probably develop most of these psyops. And actually, they do have a C also. There are other cases like this, the Ann Arbor Hospital murders, another inconclusive case in which nurses were accused of apparently motiveless homicides. See, that's the key.
Right.
Charles Cullen is listed here. Lucia de Burke in Netherlands. And Elizabeth Wettlaufer, another Canadian who was busy injecting people with insulin. So it's sort of Wikipedia is good at aggregating these for your research convenience. So Anyway, we're way off topic, but
Yeah, that happens though.
it happens in this, doesn't it? Let's just look in the chat before we take off here. Kate Emma says, I think they're doing a land grab. Entities like BlackRock coming in and buying up land from frightened people for rock bottom prices. Think the reason for media blackout was playing the truth community at its own game, letting truthers do their dirty work, giving it more credibility. After all, many have been saying not to believe the news. That's not a bad idea. Truth community were pushing fear like it was going out of fashion. It was so disheartening to watch so many out themselves. I even had comments removed trying to stop the fear mongering.
I agree with that one right there for sure.
Skate and Destroy says that was Kate Emma, by the way. Thank you, Kate Emma, for all your great comments. Skate and Destroy says if they willingly jab little babies all day, I wouldn't put it past them to kill some people. Yeah, that's the fear mongering though. People really need a motive to kill. It's really important.
Yeah.
Human beings just don't kill for kicks, I don't think, in general. And we'll take one more look at the YouTube comments. Nope, nothing new on the YouTube. Well, Dave, that was an interesting call. I think we'll have to have you on again if you want to be a regular contributor so we can go through some of your work. Got a lot of stuff. I never heard of you, so if I haven't heard of you, then maybe others. So subscribe to Dave the Inhuman on BitChute, and I'm gonna try and start watching some of your stuff. I see a logo called Black Pilled. Is this from the Black Pilled channel, Devin?
Oh, and in this little series, I have like clips from other people that
Okay.
I put, and I give them credit and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
He had a great narrative voice, Black Devin from Black Pilled.
He really does.
I don't know if he's still doing it.
I think so. Pretty sure. But yeah, I will.
But we need to cross promote each other and encourage each other.
Absolutely.
I come from the most things are fake department of researchology because I don't think you got to kill people to get the same effect. Why would you?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I try and avoid fear mongering because I don't think the things they say happen.
Yeah.
You could just simulate and say things happen, not give any details, and you get the same effect. And then weeks later, the story goes away anyway. But
right.
they can pass laws and make changes based on the fakery. That to me seems to be the winning formula.
My theory is that it's a bit of both.
Okay.
Actual people dying and also a lot of fakery happening. The reason I say that is because I think I've studied the history of these people in power, and they really don't like us. It's hard for people to fathom that type of lifestyle and mindset. But if you think about most politicians, you have to be a psychopath. Like there's a list of the 10 most the 10 jobs that a psychopath would most likely have, and I think number one was like a politician. But if you are in this clique, this group, this elite, bloodline or whatever you want to call it, their lives are completely different from ours, and I do believe that they want to depopulate just because they want everything. They want everything for themselves. They want land for themselves. They want resources for themselves. So I do think, in my opinion, it's just a bit of each of fakery happening, and also if they can get rid of people, I think that they would, because they don't think like we do. But that's my take on it.
Well, I think they don't need people anymore because they have machines and automation, and they can then the third world. They
Right.
can use that labor because now you don't have to be on location in so many
Yep.
ways, and we have open borders, and you can move stuff around. You can float
Yeah.
things around the world in super containers, super
Yeah.
ships with oil and energy and goods, and you just don't need people in countries anymore, and therefore you can dissolve the countries.
Right. And most things have been, like cars they've been using robots and AI to make car parts and stuff for like a while now, and they're just been slowly bringing that in
Yeah.
everywhere. You don't talk to humans on the phone anymore. I mean, they've been slowly creeping it in.
Yeah, we don't talk to people, I know. Here's the top 10 jobs for psychopaths: CEO, lawyer, media, salesperson, surgeon, journalist, police officer, clergy person, chef, civil servant.
Chef, interesting.
Yeah, well, you have a big kitchen, yeah, you got to get people chop.
Yeah.
And for those looking to potentially avoid working with the least number of psychopaths, here's the list of occupations with the lowest rate of psychopathy: care aide, nurse, therapist, craftsperson, beautician, charity worker, teacher, creative artist, doctor, accountant. Doctor except surgeons. That's pretty funny.
Right. Interesting.
I'll put that as show note number 10 since you brought it up.
Cool.
Okay, well, this has been a bit of a double show tonight. A little bonus for all the donors, fakeologist.com/donate. Are you into, since you called on the Epic Cash Day of the week, are you into crypto at all?
Not really. I don't really get it. Not gonna lie, I don't really understand it. But
Well, do you understand fiat currency?
yeah,
The dollars in your pocket right now?
right.
You do understand it? Because
Yeah.
you understand the way that they're madly inflating the currency?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, crypto isn't that much more difficult to understand. To me, it's where what the internet is going to or did to journalism and media back in the day. That's where crypto is now. The only problem is crypto is challenging the money system, which is the absolute control grid of the world.
True.
This is why I think it's going to be dangerous for the elite if they let it get out of control. Alternate currency systems.
Right. Yeah.
Now it's so if if somebody develops a really good private crypto like Epic Cash, and I'm not saying it's the be all and end all, but if this is the beginning, because it's open source, so I'm guessing anyone could branch off and improve upon it. There could be some real serious contenders to people exchanging goods and services and their value using any kind of crypto and getting away from the people at the top that control everyone through money. Like every single person in this coronavirus hoax has been they've been controlled by money, the threat of losing it. So I think it's important to look into crypto. I'm right now, we're promoting Epic Cash, but I would just encourage you to look into any or all crypto. And if you don't have any idea where to start, look at Epic Cash and even Bitcoin, of course, which is really old technology, old in the sense that it's 20 years old. Just look into it and familiarize yourself with it.
Okay.
And that's what I'm doing, and I accept Epic Cash as for donations as well, because it could be a valuable way to transfer value, and it's pretty frictionless, easy to do.
Right on.
So take a peek at it, Dave, and thanks for calling in. And we'll get you back. I'm gonna watch some of your stuff now.
Right on.
Yet
Cool.
another content creator that we've discovered with tons of content. Not enough hours in the day to keep up with everyone, is there?
All right. Well, thank you.
So thanks, Dave. We'll stay in touch,
All right.
and
No problem.
and make sure join my different components of my site.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I've got the
I'll
blog.
do that.
I've got the forums. Unfortunately, they're all different logins.
I will do that tonight.
And I got FacoTube. And yeah, you can also join our Discord, fake11.com/Discord. Our Telegram, fake11.com/Telegram. But mostly I like people to come onto our own platform, which is the forums. Fakeologist.com/forums too, because that's my website and my data, and it doesn't have the risk of being shut down.
Sounds good to me.
So thank you, Dave, and we'll be in touch.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. There goes Dave from North Lima, Ohio, near East Palestine. Very interesting man. Great channel. I'm going to check it out. Dave the Inhuman on BitChute. Dave the Inhuman, 3 words. Show notes are going to be available as soon as I'm done here. FAK 685 is the broadcast. I left it on YouTube because we didn't really say anything to offend YouTube, but of course all my stuff is on FacoTube, FacoTube.com. And yeah, what a great show. So many great people come by, and thanks for all the tips, everyone, bringing all these people to my attention. Just send me an email. I'm at fakeologist.com. You can phone me. You can leave a message at fake11.com/bumper, where you can record a bumper. 1,001 ways to get a hold of me. Totally accessible to you, the good user. And all these FacoTube chats will become the video of tonight's comments. So it's the best place to be. Stay off the big engines, the big platforms, and come to the FacoTube side. And of course, if you want to see it continue to be successful, fakeologist.com/donate, and you'll get your name up here in lights. All these people have contributed in the past and contribute, and many contribute monthly to keeping this thing going. Thanks for the Twitter people that tag me on Twitter. Tunax is on there all the time. Thank you so much. Thanks to Napoleon for helping out with Telegram and the comments on the blog. All these people give their value for value, whether it's money, time, talent, or treasure. Really appreciate it. And tomorrow is Thursday. Looks like Christine is going to be on, Christine Massey. We're going to talk about Catherine Watt and her COVID kill box expose. See what she's got to say. And Frank will be on as well. Frank will ride shotgun. It's his night. And he can bring up his own points if he so desires. But otherwise, we'll talk to Christine most likely. Thanks, everybody. It's been a long show. Way longer than I thought, but I thought I'd cram in Dave since he was brought to my attention by Master of None or Luna. Thank you so much. And we will talk again tomorrow. Good night.